Колега полковник
Andriy Lysenko with the operative information.
of the update from the eastern Ukraine. Прошу.
Доброго дня, шановні.
Good afternoon, esteemed colleagues again. And despite the open invasion of Russian troops to Ukraine, the situation in the zone of battle has been taken under control. The units of the militants are moving with the shelling covering them, the shelling from Grad systems. Despite the effects of aggression, Russians continue to disguise under terrorist units. They using the flags and they destroy the signs of the fact that they belong to regular Russian troops in Serbia. Because of the artillery shelling, the building of the hospital was ruined. Today, the terrorists did 8 mortar shellings at the checkpoint of Ukrainian military in the region of Frunze of Lugansk area. The forces of anti-terrorist operation did artillery shelling at positions of the militants near Lugansk and liquidated the group of militants. Now there is the adjustment going on of the military units of military support of the troops of the armed forces which were enrolled during the third wave of partial mobilization in Dnipropetrovsk Oblast. Ukrainian patriots which have been serving in intelligence units are now renewing their skills under the leadership of the experienced officers. They the program of such military adjustment includes learning the conduct of military fighting, also technical characteristics, military equipment, and so on. All the information about movement of the units and regiments of the armed forces of Ukraine will not be commented according to the decision of this General Staff. In Mariupol, of Donetsk Oblast, and in Kharkiv, people are expressing their readiness to defend their land from Russian invasion. The number of people is growing that are going to military commissionaries in order to be enrolled into the armed forces of Ukraine in Lugansk region. Because of the shellings, Alchevsky metallurgical plant has no electricity and the operations are suspended. According to the presidential decree, the representative of Ukraine at EU, Yeliseyev, addressed the leadership of European Union with the call as to organizing the special session of Council of Europe as to the situation in Ukraine on the 30th of August this year. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Lithuania condemns the obvious invasion of armed forces of Russian forces to the territory of Ukraine. The President of France, Hollande, stated that he believes it inadmissible and unacceptable if Russian troops again start acting at the territory of Ukraine. If the fact of this fact is of presence of Russian troops in Ukrainian land is confirmed, that is unacceptable and cannot be allowed, said François Hollande. The ambassador of the United States in Ukraine, Payet, stated supply by Russia of tanks, armored vehicles, artillery, and missile systems, and also the salvo systems is not enough to win over the armed forces of Ukraine. So now most of Russian troops are included into military actions on the territory of Ukraine. Russia also sent new systems of anti-air defense to the east of Ukraine. How can you comment on the information about the fact that Ukrainian military deserted at the border of Russian Federation? And does the deputy head of ATO, Sergei Nazarkin, has a brother who's serving in the armed forces of Russia? Could you please specify?
Could you be please more specific about the situation? I mean that mass media reported, yes, I understood. We have no confirmation of this fact. As far as brothers and sisters are concerned, we don't have this information. Another question. Can you please comment on the Marinivka situation? Who controls this territory? And is it true that there is no Ukrainian military in Starobesheva, Marinivka and Uspenka? The matter is that now there is an exchange of fire, and it's hard for us to get the information on who is where, but we know for sure that all the settlements that were under control of Ukrainian military today in the morning, they are still controlled by the Ukrainian military, and now we are working on plans of counteroffensive and raising the pressure on those who is launching offensive against us. We are not providing any detailed information about the composition and routes of movement of our troops. I have a great request to you not to communicate with our military in the anti-terrorist operation by phone. Again, what about the 6 battalions in encirclement close to Ilovaisk who are being shelled? Ilovaisk is under the control of Ukrainian military. That's all. About Novozovsk, could you please comment what's going on there? We gave you the information in the morning that there are Russian troops there. So who controls the city, Ukrainian or Russian troops? You didn't say this precisely in the morning. There are no Ukrainian military in Novozovsk. Ilovaisk, again, you said that Ilovaisk is under control, but a lot of people, for several days, there were statements that Ukrainian troops are encircled in Ilovaisk, and for several days they were asking to provide help. There were rallies. This is an old, dated information. Their reinforcements came to Ilovaisk yesterday. Any other questions? Could you be more precise about Novozovsk? Can we count our losses there? Not at the moment. The matter is that Ukrainian military were made to retreat in order to save the lives of those who were in front line. There was a regrouping of our troops, and in order to better protect Mariupol. And at the moment, we have sufficient forces and means there to protect Mariupol and not to allow penetration of enemy forces to Mariupol. So they regrouped to Mariupol on the outskirts of Mariupol. Other questions? No, thank you, Colonel Lysenko. Please follow our Facebook page. As soon as we have information from the Council of National Defense and Security, we'll keep you informed, and we will organize another briefing. Thank you.